Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Above the Sky Season 4, Episode 7. My name is Leon Sky. I want to thank you guys so much for taking the time out of your schedule, out of your day to hop up on this podcast with us. Today is going to be a really special podcast. This is going to be the first for both of us. I have a really cool special group. I met these people at an open mic down in the Bronx called Taco Tuesday, I believe. Open mic Taco Tuesday, I believe. And once I saw these dudes perform, not only they killed it, they delivered, and yeah, they just gave it their all. And I want to be able to just like find artists that are not always, are always on point with the delivering when it comes to their music, but always focus on the quality over the quantity, when it comes to the music, So, and I believe with this group of individuals right here in front of me, these guys, do exactly that. So we have a whole bunch of like visionaries in front of me. So we have songwriters, we have artists, we have producers, we have engineers, basically a whole just odd future basically in our generation right now in front of me. So I'm gonna have these guys introduce themselves separately, and we get started with the interview questions.
I go by the name of Baby Ratio. I'm a vocalist for the group of CARTEL Haven. I do a lot of music and other stuff.
Perfect.
My name is Slatter. Of course, a young visionaire. I'm also a vocalist, and I also write. I'm also a poet. That's pretty much it.
Awesome, sweet.
My name is Wolf. I am the producer / engineer of CARTEL Haven.
Perfect.
I'm Jamari. I rap and I do vocals. I do.
Right.
Yeah.
And last but not least, who could forget? I'm Light Switch. I'm the rapper, and also I do vocals for CARTEL Haven.
Sweet, man. Sweet. Now I'm really excited for this episode for sure, just because like
We've been fucking
Definitely.
hoping on this shit.
Because like
This was a highly anticipated moment.
Definitely.
For us, not gonna lie. It's like we've been waiting for like, damn, it's like our first time we're gonna step out of our shell a little bit and do something different, and that's
Definitely something different.
Yeah. I'm just blessed, honestly, just to have y'all just to be a part of this podcast, and just having me be the first one to interview guys. That's even, not even just like an honor for you guys, but even an honor for me, you know what I'm saying? Because it elevates both of us, So I just want to just say thank you just for being a part of the podcast. But
of course.
yeah, thank you for real. But with that being said, always, man, always. I'm always here to support. I'm always here to just grow and connect, man, because that's what we need the most in order to get our dreams coming to life. Is just keep that support system going and growing, and just keep connecting, So,
Of course.
but let's get started. So, like I said, you guys can be able to answer these questions separately, together, however you feel comfortable. So basically, whoever speaks first, like, kind of answers the question. So question number one: how did you guys get into making music?
Well, I guess y'all want to go on the separate?
That's fine. That's
Yeah,
fine.
Separate?
All right.
Me personally, like I was always I was raised around a group of musicians. Like this was part of my culture. What I grew up seeing is like Bronx culture itself. Like I grew up seeing it everywhere. So then I gradually went into like at the age of like 7 to like 10. It's like I started writing and like jotting, and like it came to me at the age I am now. I really didn't have the confidence for it because of how I be perceived. I always was like shy about it because I actually had a good talent, but now that I got around this group of people that I'm with now, they just brought that that insecurity I had about music out of me. So it's like it made me who I am now. Baby Ratio.
That's dope. That's amazing.
Slatter. Oh, my bad. For
No, you're good.
I first started off with writing poetry. I'm sorry. I started writing off poetry since middle school. That's how kind of I coped with things during middle school. I was in a rough time, but I passed that, came into high school, and this is how I met my group. This is how I met all my friends here. And through that, with us being stuck together in a studio, it just became great there. Like is just a dream come true, honestly. Like, a dream I never thought I had. And that's how I got into music since high school.
Sweet.
For me, is music has been a thing that like it hasn't always necessarily been an interest of mine my whole life. Because me, what I've done ever since I was a little kid, I've always tried to find some creative way to express whatever I'm feeling or whatever, just anything that comes to mind.
Yeah.
So for years, I spent years, doing different things to express my creativity. I tried drawing. I tried getting into game development. I tried writing poems. I tried doing a lot of things. But once I discovered music, is like everything just came to me. It's like this is the thing that I want to do. And especially like being around this group, it's like this is the best musically I've been ever.
That's dope. That's so cool.
Well, definitely with me getting into music, I short, I get on tangents sometimes, but a weird short story. Like back when I was like 3 or 4, my dad has this recording, and he always kind of tends to show it to me when I do performances or everything. And he's like, yo, like this is the first time I seen you perform. This is when I knew you was a rapper. And it was like, music always traveled with me, whether I was listening to it or I was making it. And although in my elementary school years and my pubescent years, I didn't get into music, when in middle school I started spitting and rapping, and I started getting more into my craft with freestyling, and then learning about how music can inspire yourself, and not only inspire yourself but others. And as that gradually grew, it just got great, and it got like more euphoric, and when I started doing it more, I felt like I guess like a fire inside to do more and more and more, because not only did I like it, but I saw progress from not only me but the people around me. It's something that brings positivity, and I always love something that brings positivity. That's always been my motto. So with music, has always been like just a crazy amount of positivity with it. And not only that, with the group that I have here, it's amazing. I'm like graciously appreciated of everybody standing here, just because we did this. And even though obviously it's not, gumdrops and rainbows, it's something that works. And not only that, it's complete fluidity and it's balance. And that's what I always preach. Balance is always the find good order, I guess you could say.
No, yeah, well, very well spoken for each and every one of you guys. I like that each and every one of you had your careers kind of like in development in the beginning before you guys met, trying to figure out like, because I know like with the first one spoke, he basically had his kind of troubles trying to figure out like if he really wanted to do this or not, and then once you guys met up in high school together, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So like once you guys got in development to like getting to know each other and like having that group around you, like you build off the energy that you give off each other, which is like amazing. Like it's dope, because sometimes at first it's difficult, like because sometimes when you're doing it by yourself, it takes it, like the energy will come, but it may take a while. You know what I'm saying? You may need to feed off inspiration from an outside source or from a source somewhere in the universe. You know what I'm saying? But you guys feed off each other whenever you feel uninspired or whenever you feel like something's not right, basically. You know what I'm saying? So I like just to see that and just to hear from you, specifically, just because like just very well spoken, very driven about the things that you kind of just basically set upon with the group. Like, you guys are basically just gonna get only stronger from where you guys are now, like from 10 years down the road. You know what I'm saying? So question number 2, how did you guys get started off in a group? And how did that name came up, like CARTEL Haven? How did you guys come up with that name?
The name CARTEL Haven, it all revolves around, mainly it revolves around the school where we met each other, my community school, and that we all formed together. We all come from different backgrounds, and the CARTEL part is just a different pronunciation of cartel, which in other words is like a family. So we just put the two together, like CARTEL Haven.
I like that.
Just plain no drugs.
Yeah, yeah, we all did.
No
Yeah,
drugs.
I mean, yeah.
I mean,
No,
Got you, got you. No, that's dope. I like the name. When I first heard it, I'm like, "Oh, it's a very unique name. I never heard of like anything like this before. You know what I'm saying? Especially like just even those two together, like Cardinal and Haven. Like it just sounds like a legit kind of like not even just a legit kind of group. Just sounds it sounds like a band, like a low key. Like I can see y'all with instruments someday if y'all decide to pick up a guitar. You know what I'm saying?
I would
Seeing that belonging,
I would,
you know,
I
I'm a
would
big
consider
fan of
us
that.
somewhat of a band. We do everything. We really do everything.
But no, I like the name very well. That name's dope. That name's dope. So y'all all basically like I know we answered that question already, but you guys just like high school, you guys all met each other. Like it wasn't beforehand, it's just high
Yeah.
school.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
It was
Yeah.
all at the same time,
Yeah.
literally.
All at the same
Same
time.
moment.
Yeah, same
Yeah,
time.
no.
Within the time span of a week, I say we all came together, and it's like something like I don't know what this bond was,
Yes,
but
it
we
was,
just
yeah.
connected.
it was like the
like,
Avengers assembled. It was just it
That's
was
so
over after that.
That's sick. That's sick. Okay. So like you guys, how long did you guys like, unless that was immediately, but how did you guys like kind of like form the group? Like was it immediately or did you guys like talked about it and be like, yo, like we should like do a group? Like how did that like came about?
I personally feel like, well, not speaking for the group, but I personally feel like the group kind of I met Baby Ratio first and I met him in class and it was like because I didn't know him. So it was like, oh, you know, I kind of kept him at a distance, but then we started talking about basketball and all that. And I was like, okay, you cool, you cool.
Yeah.
So I already knew that they had a studio in the school. So when I got into the studio, I met Jamari. And that kind of linked because I recorded my first song when he was there and he was like, yo, man, like you got bars. And a week after that, we recorded our first song together. And I met Slatter in my he used to always sit in the back and he used to always crack jokes because like he's such a dangerous man and it's crazy. Yeah, he's like deaf. He's like deaf from Soul Eater. If you see anime or any of the viewers see anime, he's literally like that. Like he's so scary, but when you meet him, he's like so fun and he's cool, you know. So I feel like everybody kind of linked up on their own times,
Gotcha.
and it was kind of all simultaneously, but at the same way, it was incorrelated, I guess you could say.
Mm.
You know, it was all in different jumbles in different ways, but we all congregated together.
Okay, perfect, perfect. No, that's a perfect way to answer that. No, that's dope. I like that, like that you just because I think that's a perfect way that you guys like kind of compared it. Like you guys are kind of like the own, you guys are like your own Avengers in your own per se. Basically, you guys look out for each other. You guys are all leaders. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like you guys are always gonna like to feed off the first question. You guys are always gonna feed off that energy towards each other. You know what I'm saying? Whenever one feels like out of it, the one person can always pick that person up just to get back on like in that pedestal basically. So that's dope. That's dope. So question number 3, how would you guys describe your sound and your music in your own words?
For me, I kind of like view my music as like entirely experimental. Like every time I make a new song, I always try something different, something I never did before. It
Yeah.
always winds up becoming even greater, and like I unlock a new sound with every song I make.
Yeah.
I would say for the group, like it's funny because I had walked in the studio one day and I know him for rapping. Like I never really, I'll tell you, like I walked in the studio one day and him and him, like they just yelling in a microphone, like, rah, rah, rah. But they doing a rock song. Like I never would expect him to come out like that. And it's just like, yo, that just scared me. I'm like, damn, these they on some different type of time, and that just showed me the level of like talent we got. That we can expand it, and that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna expand it because we could do so much stuff with our music that nobody has heard yet. You know. So
For me personally, I would say everyone they have their own taste of music, but I feel like that's more of the beauty of it.
Yeah.
It's like it's like a painting. A picture can have many thousands of words, or however the saying goes. I'm not really too fond of it.
Yeah.
But just off of that alone, just by him hearing rock music, him hearing metal, him hearing a lot of rap, like all of that can come together in a studio and make such a great sound that is just so unique to us. And that I feel like nobody else can like make a perfect replica of it, but
Yeah.
that's just out to have. And I feel like that's because of our own sound, our group kind of just correlated with it, and we was like, yo, bro, I really fucks with you. And we just made this group, and that's Portal Haven now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when it came to my music, I always figured myself to be a spitter. I always liked that because when I guess you could say grew up on music, I always liked the, you know, the Logics, the J. Cole's, the Kanye's, you know, the Biggies, you know, I've always loved lyrical rap, and I've always loved the idea of putting words and making things match with this and this and that and having it ping here and here and here and here. It's like a weird, complicated yet fun game of pinball, because I don't really like pinball, but pinball is the best way to say it. But while I gradually grew of age, I also expanded my listening for new music, and I've grown a fondness of metal and other types of things. And I've always wanted to incorporate that into my music, because some of these bands are like literally my favorite. Like my walls are littered with posters, my shirts are littered with album covers and all of that. So it's, in the sense, I've always tried to integrate that into my music, because I never wanted my music to fit in a genre. I've always wanted it to be its own genre.
Yeah.
Same with, I
Yeah.
feel like with the group, we've always tried to push our boundaries and make music for everybody, not only just for the rap heads or the pop heads or the metal heads or the country heads even. You know, we try to expand the horizons and get as much done as possible, you know, cover as much land with everything, because music is so integral to culture, and it's integral to us as well.
Nah, each and every one of y'all definitely got a bright future ahead of. Trust me when I say that, because like I love that answer itself, because it's just like each of your guys' creativity of how you guys create music is different from each, basically, and it's different with the sounds, and it's different on how you're trying to like go for it with like trying to create your own genre. You know what I'm saying? And when it comes to like doing that, you got to like go reach certain boundaries that not a lot of people are brave enough to kind of like reach those boundaries. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, because a lot of people like I'm not gonna say any names, but a good amount of people, they just care about just getting kind of popular when it comes to the music, getting the money when it comes to the music, which is dope, which is good. But at the same time, it's just like, what are you doing impactfully? Like, are you making an impact basically when it comes to creating something different when it comes to the music? And I feel like that's basically what you guys are striving for and definitely going for. You know what I'm saying? And like I'm seeing it in development, and I've already seen it in development when I saw y'all perform. And when I went back home, I did listen to y'all music, and I'm like, yo, this shit is something that I never heard. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, it's just so cool to like witness that, and then just being in the presence of that, and then just hearing it like speak from like each and every single one of y'all guys. That kind of even motivates me and energizes me to like, you know, inspire me to do something like, you know, like impactful, and when it comes to the studio even more, you know what I'm saying? Like making something crazy at my end even more, you know what I'm saying? Just because like that energy always feeds back from one another. So it's just like, keep that shit going, bro. Keep experimenting, keep creating a different sounds, because you're gonna be your first, y'all. You're gonna be your first like, you know, group cater like CARTEL Haven, you know what I'm saying? And there's nobody gonna be like y'all, you know what I'm saying? So nah, keep going for real.
It's the
sure.
authenticity, man.
For sure.
Authenticity.
Yeah, yeah. And like even like when it just comes like to experimenting with when it comes to music, it's just like you feel so like, I don't want to use empowered after you make it, but like you just feel like blessed that you made something different. You know what I'm saying? You feel blessed. And I just hope that y'all feel the same way when y'all do make something very, very different, you know, than making the same. So yeah. So question number 4. So what do you guys enjoy most about just being just an artist in general? What do you guys enjoy the most?
Me personally, I just enjoy creating music that anybody could listen to, like not just for the people I'm around, but people all around the world that enjoy listening to me, you know, people that I can help through my music. Like with my song Destiny, I talked about the empowerment of women. Like I feel like as in the world that we live in today, we don't empower our women and make them feel safe and comforted and make them feel like the queens that they are, you know. So like me making a song for a woman or anybody else, you know, that to make them feel good about themselves, that's what I enjoy most about music.
I like that.
For me, I would say as an artist, I've started to notice more so in terms of my music. I used to call myself a rapper. Nowadays, I'm like, you know what? I'm not even a rapper because I'm doing so many different sounds. Like I recently know, I'm like, I'm an artist. What am I doing? Right? And I really sat down and thought about it. I'm like, I'm an artist, and I really enjoy this type of feeling. Like I enjoy the 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 feeling of making others feel like they are listened to, like they know that they're not the only one dealing with that type of struggle. Because most of my music is about struggle and it's a lot about mental health, and I like to kind of keep going back into that topic throughout my music because with like mental health is a serious problem, not only men and women but in everybody, and you don't know what the next person is going through, and it's like sometimes you got to sit down and think about it, like, bro, why are you messing with this person's day when they're, you know, having a really bad day and you didn't even know, you know. But that's just me though, and I feel like uh the wanting to help others and listen to them is like is just invigorating to me, and that's pretty much it.
Okay.
You already went.
Yeah, do your thing, my boy.
Music is just like the way I feel when I make music is just like a way. It's a way for me to express, you know, everything I'm feeling.
Yeah.
And it's like I said earlier, like for years I spent mad long trying to find something. So for music, it just it feels right, man. And
Definitely, I
That's-
would
that's my
say.
thing.
We got it. We got it. We caught that. We caught that. You're telepathic twins. Nobody.
Oh, that's fine.
All right. For me, I definitely feel like the most beneficial thing that I get from music is love in general. Because when I started music, I'm not gonna lie. When I started music, it was like, and this is like early SoundCloud days. I like became like not like literally one of the first rappers in my school, in my middle school. So everybody came to me and was like, yo, you rap. I heard your track. Yo, like, damn, you in that? And I'm like, and I'm riding this wave of popularity. And I'm like, oh shit, like this shit is wavy. But I grew to having the popularity to get dismayed by the dislikes and I wouldn't say hatred, but the animosity of other people. Because obviously you're always going to have a person that doesn't like what you're doing,
Right.
you know, and it's that back then affected me, but now it's like, I don't care. You know, I make music that I feel like empowers people, and not only empowers people, but makes people have fun. You know, like that's really the thing. I love when people view my stuff and give me comments, or give me, like when I post a Q&A, they ask me questions, or when they like my post, or when they comment on my post, or when they even repost it. Everything is always good. Even for the venues that I go to, the people that I meet, including you, Leon Sky, like it's literally amazing because the love's there, you know, it's all around. But I like keeping it circulated, you know, because that's the best. That's what I grew up loving about music, you know, the complete love about it, and the complete thing that it can consume you in a good way and engulf you in this feeling of bliss, you know. It's fucking amazing. As I said, euphoric, man, like fucking crazy.
Now I love each and every single one of you guys' answers to that question. Going off of what you just said, recently, the love the love that you receive when you deliver your music to the public is definitely a feeling that's kind of like not everybody can feel. You can only feel it when you're in that like moment, when you're in that like position, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, and it's a feeling that's it's not hard to describe, but you can only describe it off the feeling when you're going through it, because just like being in that present moment, being in that mindset, and just being around like those people that are also like chasing those exact dreams that you're doing, you know, and that kind of just like it makes you feel like that you're not alone during that process, you know, because sometimes when chasing your goals and chasing your dreams, and I had a conversation about this with another friend of mine, like sometimes it gets like kind of a lonely road because it's just like not a lot of people would want to take like these certain type of risk to like reach the potential that they can reach, you know what I'm saying? But like it's just it always involves with like taking those risks. So, but once you surround yourself, as you guys, you know, surround yourselves with each other, like the same individuals that you guys are with other people, then you feel more like complete and realize like, yo, like this shit is possible. Like it is impossible. It's like it's able to reach. And so, and going back off from what you said as well, when it's speaking about women, and I feel like it's I don't want to say it's a perfect time to talk about it now, but there's a lot that's happening with women currently today. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like sometimes they I mean they hardly get the respect that they deserve, you know? And I feel like sometimes that with you are since you're able to mention like them about it in a nice way with your music, because sometimes like with like hip hop and like I feel like not sometimes honestly like it's around hip hop, but like a lot of times a lot of women get bad names. Like sometimes you see only in music videos, you just see women in music videos in the background, like you know, twerking and shit, and that's all they use it for.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they kind of like use them as like materials. They use them as like just use their body parts just to get more views off of their work. You know what I'm saying? So you're really not showing any respect. You're just trying to like get attention coming your way. So it's just like understanding where it's just like there's a boundary to everything. And I'm glad you mentioned, I'm glad that you brought that up and mentioned it, because at the end of the day, like, you know, like what, yeah, like Beyonce really said, women do run the world. Like, you know, so it's just like at the end of the day, we just got to accept that. So, and I want to go back to what you said with mental health. That's very important. That's very important. And because there's a lot of people out here, including myself, I had trouble with like dealing with mental health. And I always try to check myself every single time when like my mental is like not in balance. You know, like if it's out, if it's not in track, I always try to check myself and try to take care of myself as much as I can, so I can be able to not only get back on track, but I won't be able to like, you know, lose my process, you know, like hurt myself, you know what I'm saying? Not like physically, but like keep hurting myself if my mental is kind of it's still off balance. You know what I'm saying? And then I like the fact that you mentioned like you don't know who else is going through that same type of mental shit that like we're going through. So sometimes you got to be careful on what you say. Sometimes you got to be careful on like what you do, because you never know who's around that's going through that. You know, so and I'm yeah, definitely keep that going with each and every single one of y'all songs and each and every single one of y'all music that you guys are going to be dropping, because there's a message that needs to be heard, you know, and the right people were here, you know, trust me when I say that. So question number 5. So who or what are your inspirations that develops the way your music sounds today? And like when I say inspirations, that doesn't like mean specifically like a human being, like a celebrity, but inspirations like anything that inspires you, like specifically. So like what inspires you basically to create the type of music you guys want like create?
This is gonna sound very odd, but like it's a big mixture of mixed genres. You could even like they can even say like I listen to the most weirdest shit. Like I like Playboy Cardi, like Kid Cudi and Drake and J. Cole and all. I listen to a wide variety of artists. So
Yeah.
I really pick off of what I see that I like the most. And I'm like, damn, this dude just said that. I wish I could say something like that, but I'm gonna put it into my own words because I like the way it sounds. But I'm gonna make it my own,
Yeah,
you know,
facts.
stuff like that. Like I just listen to a lot of artists and I just jot down some things I really like. That's what really inspires me, like from artists, basically.
Got you.
For me, I've always liked the calm music because I feel like I won't say it hits harder. I know everyone has their own taste, but for me personally, I've always liked this one indie artist named MXM Tune.
Mm.
Very lovely voice. I also go off of by Snot, and some other artists, and just all of the mixtures of different types of genres and types of sounds, I've kind of just came one about, and I was like, I I feel like since they're talking about this, I want to talk about it in my own way, in a different type of way.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's always helped me, just thinking about it that type of way, that I can convert someone's music, because generally music is based on that, is taking someone else's sound and making it into your own.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Not word for word, of course. Nobody would like to do that, kind of seem dumb about it, but just kind of using that sound and using that type of energy in order to kind of nurture it into something new that you want to create.
Mm.
And I feel like that's beautiful, very majestic, if you want to say.
Mm.
Yeah.
For me, it's just like I see myself as like a musical sponge slash like mirror in a way. Because if I'm having a span of time, say like, oh, for like 3 weeks, I'm listening to an artist like Kanye or some shit, like that's gonna reflect in those 3 weeks, that's gonna reflect inside of the music that I'm writing. So it's kind of like, I don't know if you watch anime, but it's like kind of like Kakashi.
Mm.
From so like it's
Gotcha.
not like necessarily I copy it, but I like they said, like I take it and I make it into my own.
Right.
I like that.
Perfect.
When it comes down to just music in general and with artists, I draw a lot of inspiration from a lot of wide varieties, like artists like Kanye, Travis Scott, Kid Cudi, and bands like, Slipknot, Black Sabbath, Megadeth, stuff like that. I've always loved artists like that and always viewed them in an inspirational or like an idol set. But like my true idol would probably be my father and my mother, because they pushed me going with a lot of this music stuff, and like I gave up. And I even tell like all my friends, like I gave up for 2 to 3 years, like going on 4 of just not writing music, not even touching it, getting to the point where I like disgusted hip-hop and everything, like just using my words in a artistical sense. And looking back on that, it's like I never want to go back to that. So I always appreciate not only the artists that have brought me up, that have taught me, I guess you could say, the basics and my love for hip hop, but like my family and most importantly my parents, for giving me that inspiration and that motivation to keep on pushing to get here where I am today.
Yeah.
So I
No,
definitely would say that those are my inspiration. Sure.
no, that's beautiful. That's very beautiful. No, that's when it comes to like getting like inspiration from the outside source to develop the source within yourself when it comes to like anything that you're trying to create, when it comes to like not even just musically wise, it can be anything, when it comes to like, even if you want to be like a painter, if you want to like make a book, if you want to just do anything when it comes to creating, feeding off the inspiration like from someone like around you, like even just like, because obviously there's a lot of like celebrities, artists that are like very inspirational, so try to like reach the inspiration from them to like take it and then develop it within your own work. So later down the road, within 10 years, people, or even now, because right now we don't even know, we may be inspiring other people that we don't even know, because me and you both, we all together perform in different places, and we probably already inspired a whole group of people that we don't even know that we just did, and now they're probably doing the same things that we're doing in their own way. So it's just like the inspiration is like, it always comes like in a wheel like of inspiration when it comes to feeding off of like one particular group or one particular person, to take that inspiration to develop the work within yourself, within the music that you want to create. So it's a cool thing. Like the inspiration never like dies out. Like you're always find ways to like feed inspiration from somewhere, even when sometimes the inspiration may not be there immediately, it's always going to be there right on time when it comes. So, but yeah, now I like each and every single one of your answers like very well. So this one is a cool question, and you guys don't have to give me the full details, but in your own way, you guys can try to answer it. So, question number 6. So, what's your guys' like creative process like when it comes to like making a song? Like, how is that process like?
Go ahead, Joanna.
For me, it always starts out with me just being in a certain type of like emotion. Say if I have a time where like I'm feeling sad, I'll search up like a slow type beat or sad type beat, and I would just kind of like I would just hum melodies, and then when I keep on going over the beat again and again, those melodies stick, and then I just write lyrics to those melodies, and it just sometimes I use help to write. Sometimes I
Yeah.
be smoking. I'm not going. It definitely helps at times, but I don't necessarily rely on it all the time. But it definitely has helped in some occasions. But usually, it just music is just something it just flows to me.
Perfect. Perfect.
I would say for me, like I would, like you said, I'll have to be in a certain mood, like feeling a type of way. And like my process, like I'll go for like a beat. Like I usually freestyle first. Like I'll freestyle, record myself. This here I sound to be catch the flow and the vibe to whatever I'm recording. And I'm like, damn, I look back at what I heard. Like, damn, I really said a good ass verse. And I'm gonna write that down. I'm gonna fix it up a little bit to make it sound like I really went crazy. Cause
Yeah.
I usually go off a freestyle pace, I just in my vibe, my energy. I can make a sad song when I'm sad. When I'm uplifted, I make a good song for everybody to enjoy. Just like it goes based off my mood, basically.
Got you.
Me, I feel like I have heavily do depend on my emotion. Uh, I would say the way I start off is most of the time is just like how Jamari was saying. When I'm dealing with something at the time, like, oh, I just felt some sort of heartbreak. I
Yeah.
feel like that's where my best music kind of comes out when I'm feeling during that moment. I'm like,
Mhm.
yo, I'm gonna make a song. I feel angry. I'm gonna make a song. I feel like that's the best way I can express my own emotions. And with doing that, I feel like that's how I can deepen the connection into the music into my life as
Mm.
well, others, if anything. Um, but usually in the process of writing the song, I try and go off of maybe the title of the song. Like if I'm gonna talk about heartbreak, I'm probably gonna name the song something about heartbreak or how I felt at the moment, or a certain like significant word. Like for example, my song Friends that I did with Jamari, uh what happened sadly enough was that I had a crush and she said that we can only be friends, and I was like, damn, that hurt. So I made the
Yeah.
song Friends, and like instead of only keeping it as a sad song, what I ended up doing with that entire energy was switching it up and showing that I'm gonna become better in that song. I'm gonna become better throughout the song. And I feel like I'm gonna be empowered. And
Mm.
I feel like that's how I got the energy out of me, and just emotions kind of taint how my music is portrayed. And yeah.
Perfect.
I would say when it comes to my creative process about music, it's I wouldn't say a weird one, but it's kind of persistent. I'm a big Star Trek fan, and yeah, everybody laughs at that.
Now, Star Trek is cool. I like Star Trek.
Star Trek is fucking beastie, man. But okay, so I always like consider myself when I'm working on it, I consider myself like a ship at warp speed.
Mm.
Like I'm always going at a consistent pace, but then I can always kick it up a notch. And then I could get to the final point where I'm everywhere without being there.
Mm.
And it's crazy because when I'm writing the music, it's a mixture of vibes and also doing it because I'm having fun. Like some of my songs are deep, I get so deep and I get so lyrical about it that you can literally see the feeling and the energy seeping from the lyrics and from the song and from the beat, even from the title. But then I have some songs that I name after like anime characters or things or games or anything that I'm just, I guess you could say in a New Yorker's way, talking my bullshit, and I love doing that because in music, it's a way to like, I guess you could say, formulate myself to other people. And I love that because I can make whatever I want. And more of that sense, I can make whatever I want that makes me happy. And I feel like when you're making something that makes you happy, you generate happiness all around. So it's something that I try to incorporate in my music,
Mm.
Sometimes I'm writing about some real serious shit, man, like some real serious like, oh my God, like you gotta call a phone because some shit's going down.
Nah, for real.
But then I'm on a
That's
mode
fire.
where I'm just like, yo, man, chair.
Right.
It's like you gotta get the interchanging twist with that. You gotta get the vibe. You gotta just get it right. I feel like every artist has those moments where they just write a song and you're like, the shit's hard, but I don't know why I made it.
Right, facts.
But I feel like that's my process about music.
And I like that's amazing for each and every one of y'all. Like, because the creative process is definitely like, sometimes it goes all over the place. Sometimes it's like right in there in the moment. And sometimes like you rap about yours. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like when it comes to like having that creative process coming in development when it comes to music, each and every single one, like it's always gonna, it depends like if like on a human being, because sometimes certain artists they have like a certain like routine. Like sometimes they just go on YouTube, find a beat, and then go off from there. Or they just like do it the other way around, write the lyrics and then find the beat and then go off in the studio. So it's just like, or sometimes you need to go out somewhere to get inspiration to like, all right, I'm at a park right now and there's a lake. I can rap about the fishes in the lake and some shit. I can make a whole fucking story about that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's just like you like trying to find the inspiration, and then the creative process will come along and come along in that way when you deliver into the studio. So I like the fact that you guys not only have different type of ways of like each individual that you guys do it, but you guys always like bring it together to make it sound like amazing, basically, and like in your own type of like sound and your own type of vibes that you guys try to deliver to your own music to us, basically. So it's dope. And I like to ask that question because everybody has a different type of answer when it comes to that question. So I'm always curious on like how you guys are able to like adapt and to like do it within your craft, for like anyone that is going to be watching that's like first starting out, basically, that they don't know like how to make a song like immediately. They could hopefully use this video and use it as like getting advice from y'all to help them out, basically. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, I appreciate y'all for real. This is another question that I love to ask as well, because this is always an interesting question. This is always an interesting answer that I receive from the question. So question number 7, in your own way, how do you guys deal with writer blocks when it appears in your journey of trying to write a song?
Oh my God. Oh my God. Who are this person?
Go ahead.
You hit me. I'm just coming off a badass writer's block too. They could tell you about it. Like I was in a slump real bad, and like their motivation every day, like that, like they like ratio, like get up, like why you playing, like if anything take your time, do this and that, like all the pointers they keep giving me, it's like they doing everything. I'm like I'm with my hand to the paper and I'm like I can't do nothing, I can't think of nothing. So it's like the motivation factor really helped me get out of like the shell I was in. It's like I had nothing motivating me at that moment, but damn, they brought that motivation to me. So it's like I am thankful to have them around, like especially because they're artists and they could give me pointers and how to get out of it, because they most of them have more experience than me, so they've been in that slump and they know how to get out of it. They know how it feels, so they were just like telling me the steps to take to go about that.
Perfect. Got you.
Writer's block for me, as I've been doing music throughout the years, like every time writer's block has hit me, it's been like a thing that I stressed over about. I was upset. I couldn't write anything. But one thing that I figured out as I, kept dealing with writer's block over and over again is that when you have writer's block, the key to getting rid of it is not stressing it and changing your routine as well. And I don't know. I learned that the hard way, because there was times I almost gave up on music because of the writer's block. Like I had months without writing.
Yeah.
I could.
It could definitely be like that when you kind of like want to just stop making music just for like, not even just for like a little bit, just for good. So like I could definitely understand that.
I would say writer's block, that's just hitting the ankle with the razor scooter right there. Honestly, it's a pain in the ass, honestly. writer's block for me, I wouldn't say it wasn't that severe as the other guys.
Yeah.
Um, like there would be like small little glimpse of inspiration to do music from time to time. But again, like mental health, there's only I feel like with me, because of my genre, with my sound, especially because I speak a lot about mental health, um there is no end to it. So I know that there's somewhere I can still speak on mental health. I know that there's still a lot. I won't say juicing out the entire thing of it, but it's like trying to get the message out there. And I know that there's still some type of way to get that lifeline out there, you know? Um, so I wouldn't say that I've had a very severe case of writer's block, but I did have my time from here and there. And what I've tried to do is like you said, with the whole process of writing and trying to make music. I've tried walking into new places I've never been, like new stores. Like I never went to a Panda Express before, and I pulled
Mm.
up in there. I was like, "Yo, bro, this shit is lit as hell," right? And just small little things like that can just help me get out of my own state of writer's block. And I feel like that's gonna come and go no matter what as an artist, but
Yeah.
I know for a fact that everyone can strive out of it at some point, with enough just taking care of yourself. I feel like that's where the main problem comes. If you don't take care of yourself because you've been busy just kind of writing too much, uh I feel like you should just sometimes take that time off and just come back a lot better than what you were before.
Yeah, 100% agree. Definitely.
When it comes to writing blocks, like I've had long writing blocks, and when it comes to writer's block, it's something that I feel like every artist experiences, but every artist has a different way of adjusting to it.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like I could write songs. Like everybody in this group knows, I'll like sit here, I'll go to sleep. Everybody will go to sleep in the morning. I'll text the group chat, yo, man, 4 songs done. There we go. Laid in, done. It's done. I'm just collecting bounties. And these guys are like, what the fuck? Like, whoa, like, damn, slow down.
Nah, for real.
But then I'll have times where like I'll sit here and I'll get occupied in the things that I'm doing in everyday life, or I just won't have that drive, like when I first fucking copped Elden Ring. Sorry for the French, but when I copped Elden Ring, it was like, like 2-3 weeks, I was like, I can't write, I'm trying to make sure that I don't throw my controller at the wall.
Facts.
It's I guess you could say with writer blocks, they come and go, but
Yeah.
thing that I've always found that helps me about it is that as Jamari said, you got to take the ease with it, and you just got to really ease up and chill and relax. That's when the best music comes out. When you're not stressing, or when you're not saying, damn, this dude took out this song about rapping about whatever, and he got mad views, so I gotta go get on my phone and I gotta write these, I gotta find a beat, I gotta do this. There's a difference between motivation and somebody, I guess you could say, jealousy, or somebody breeding something like that.
Yeah.
Always try to find it that if a writer block happens, I just chill, run on another beat, maybe get another beat, or maybe just chill, relax, listen to some, watch a podcast, listen to some music, watch a show, a movie, go outside, get a bite to eat, drink a sip of coffee, drink a sip of soda. It's, I guess you could say, and this is a weird thing, and my mom always told me that, like, music comes at random times and ideas come at even randomer times. So it's like when you mix those two, it's like, sometimes you're just sitting on the toilet doing your business and you're like, damn, bro, that bar hit. Like, oh, whoa, that's a banger right there. And you're like, wow, I just thought about that. While it's 3 a.m. and you're just chilling while everybody's sleeping. It's just, it comes and goes. And I feel like that's really the thing about it. You just got to take the flow with it. Just relax,
Yeah. Nah, yeah, I definitely agree with everything that y'all just said, basically, because it's very true, because sometimes like writer's block could mean a couple things. Either like one, the inspiration isn't just there. So like you just need to like try to find that inspiration, and then once you receive it, then you can start writing about it. Or two, maybe it's just because you're just drained out, you know, and sometimes you just need to take a break, even if you don't want to take that break, because like making music is like your passion. It's like you love doing it. And so it's like it's kind of a hard thing to stay away from the things that you love. But like think of it as like a relationship, right? You know, sometimes like if the relationship is just kind of like too much, sometimes you need to take a break, you know. Like that doesn't mean like a breakup within the relationship with the music. It's just you need to just step away from it. So when you come back stronger, than better than you were before. You know what I'm saying? And then you guys end up making the most dopest type of sounds, experimenting even way more than y'all ever experiment before. You know what I'm saying? On some Bill Nye shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like you're able.
Yeah, man, that's a science guy right there, man.
Yeah, literally. So it's just like you're able to use that time that you focus on your self-care, that you focus on your mental state, and then get that inspiration from some source anywhere really, and then just write. And the way that I always try to like do it for myself, and since we're on that topic, I do like to write a lot. Like I always try to keep a journal with me, and I always like it's not like an everyday thing. I always try to make it everyday thing. It's sometimes like a 3 or twice a week, kind of like 3 days or like twice a week kind of thing, where I take my journal and I just write 3 pages a day about just anything. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be anything like in specifics. You know, like you don't have to like write a full essay. You know, like just anything that's in your first like thought of mind, where it's just like okay, like the grass is like green, the blue, the sky's like just anything, just to like get your mind empty from all the thoughts that are like developing, because we have so much thoughts that are running through my head, like running through our heads right now. So it's just like, why not flush them out on the journal? You know what I'm saying? And then we could look back at that journal and be like, yo, let's make a song with everything that we just wrote, basically. But sometimes it's like, when it comes to writer's block, it's always a hit and a miss. It's always something that like never try to force the creativity, but always like once you feel like you receive it, hone it down and make sure that you write everything somewhere, you know. So once you get that inspiration, just keep writing, and then you end up making something special with everything that you wrote, basically. So question number 8. So before you guys get on any type of stage to perform, do you guys do anything for yourselves to get yourself in a good headspace before you guys get ready to perform? Like for me, like I don't do it often, but like I have been doing it a lot recently. Um, I like to meditate. Like sometimes I meditate, sometimes I breathe, like so I can like get myself in a good head, like just mental state, and just like focus on like just on my breathing, really, just to make sure that my mind is cleared. So I don't. So do you guys do anything for yourselves to get yourself ready to perform?
Um, we do. It's funny because we just started to incorporate this into our routine since we like just started performing and on stages and all of that. We do a lot of vocal exercises, and we have a little group meetings on how we want things to be situated, and we come to a consensus of how we want things to go. You know, like you're gonna do this, you do that. You know, and we also we also do a little bit of meditation. I won't say we do a lot, but we make sure we're calm and cool, calm and collected as a group. So when we go and do what we got to do, everything goes turned out the way we planned it to. You know, we just have our good talks.
For me, I wouldn't say it's a superstition in a sense, but it's just as long as I know that the group is all right, then I know I'm gonna be all right. Because as long as he has my back, I know I don't have to worry about my back. If I have the front, I'm having his back, and he has the front, then he's having my back. So it's pretty much all good at that point. But like there was this one time where I saw Light Switch, like he was on the floor, like not to out him out, but he was on the floor and he was just thinking to himself, like he was very quiet. I'm like, yo, bro, good, bro. He was like, yeah, I'm just a little bit nervous. I helped him out, bro. Breathe out your mouth 2 times, deep breaths, and you're good, bro. And he did that, and he ended up going to that stage and he blew that shit up. Like honestly, like bro, we just went off when we performed that day, and honestly, just just the fact that we have each other, I feel like for me, there's no nervousness at all. I feel like I'm already at home. I feel like I'm safe enough to do whatever I like. And if I mess up, keep it going. What's the point? Nobody knows. And that's just how I see things.
I feel like for me personally, I kind of see it in a way like how some people would see skydiving. It's like it's a thing that's scary as shit, and you're trying your best to prepare for it, but it's just something you have to just push yourself to do. Like just forget whatever anxiety you have, just push yourself to do it. And that's how I treat getting on stage. So it's like once I'm on stage and that music starts, it's like I have no choice but to give it my all. So I just throw myself out there.
I definitely agree with the grouping with Jamari when it comes to pre-performances, or you could say pre-performance rituals. We try to keep it with the vocal exercises, you know, us planning stuff. But me personally, I always think it's a do or die moment. Weird, and as grievous as that sounds, it's like I always view it as like, you know, you have 10 minutes to get on that stage. You got to prep yourself and you got to breathe enough so that you're getting on that stage. And I feel like even though you could calm down that, you know, that adrenaline and that rush, everyone's always going to be scared. If you're not scared, or at least having that jitter or nervousy in that situation, then I mean, like, you know, it's, I feel like, in my opinion, it doesn't become enjoyable, but then you're like, you know what, I got to do it. And that's really the thing that amps me up. Once I get on that stage and my heart is pumping and I'm grabbing the mic, but I'm like, okay, my lyrics are in my head, I'm going to do this stuff. So that's really what comes about that. Thinking about that, this is the only moment that I can do this and I got to rock it. You know, I got to make the stage my home, you know, bring the bed in there too.
Yeah, that's what you gotta do, my boy. Word up.
No, I definitely feel y'all 100%, because when it comes to like basically how Jamar said it, where it's just like when you go on stage, it's kind of like basically skydiving, because you're facing your fears and you are like, you have so much butterflies in your stomach, you have thoughts running out in and out of your mind, where it's like, damn, is my performance going to be good, is it going to be bad, like I don't know, like, but at the same time it's just like, it's not, you don't have to like really stress yourself so much about it or worry so much about it, because that's when you put so much thoughts in your head, then that who like the outlook won't be the way that you expected. You know, it will be the opposite of how you wanted it to be, because you put so much stress within yourself that you didn't need. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, when like being on stage is definitely a nerve-wracking thing. And I always give props and like respect for anyone that goes up on stage to perform, because not a lot of people can do it. You know, not a lot of people like really can do it, because like stage fright is like an actual like fear. You know, a lot of people get like a good amount of anxiety sometimes when it comes to performing and when it comes to like being on stage. Like I was having a conversation about this with another artist where like she doesn't really perform like as constant, you know, like it's like once every 6 months she said she performs, because her anxiety like goes through the roofs, you know. So it's just like it's like a real kind of like fear, where it's just like having, because like it's kind of like interesting, where it's just like when being on stage, we kind of pour our hearts out basically in front of strangers. Like the words that we say and the things that we deliver in front of strangers, sometimes we can't even say that shit in front of our own parents, but we can deliver it to like a bunch of strangers, you know, and they applaud you for it, not just because you're being on stage, but just because you went through that. Also, you went through that fear of just like being up on there, because not a lot of people can do it, you know. And then they feed off that like source of energy from you, and then like they, bro, it's so cool because it really goes in a circle, because it's just like you don't know who's really watching you. You know, it's like there's a lot of people out there that are like watching these performances, and you don't know who's really watching. You know, it could like it's not only just fans. It could be somebody that's also making music as well, that's always thinking like, man, I really want to be up on the stage, but I'm actually afraid. You know, I'm actually kind of like, I'm nervous. Like, I don't know if I could do this. And then they watch y'all perform, and then they feed off of that and be like, damn, maybe I can actually do this. And then they start going to open mics and they start performing and they start, you know, going all these places and start doing the things that they want to do. So it's just like it's like it's a butterfly effect, really, because like you gotta start off as a caterpillar, and then you gotta spread your wings, and then you become the butterfly basically. So it's just like you're watering your seed as much as you can every single day with these little steps of opportunities that become you know, in the journey of just being an artist. Question number 9: how does your guys' sound of music separate like yourself from everybody else's sound of music in your own kind of way that you guys want to describe it? Like, how does your sound separate yourself from everybody else's sound of music?
For me, it's like I refuse to try to use somebody else's flow or try to use the same flow that like I already use. I always like to try to do something different because I feel like music, if you treat music like something you could just copy and paste over and over and over again and expect the same outcome, you're gonna get bored with it. And me
Yeah.
personally, I love music so much because I have fun with it, and I always make sure to do what I got to do.
Respect.
Us as a group, like we're so versatile and diverse as a group, also different cultures. We mix and integrate everything into our music. So like we go over every genre. We got songs, plethora of everything. We do everything. We do it all. And with artists now, I don't see them like doing everything. I see them sticking off of one style and trying to ride the wave of the same for young flow, new flow. But we got the old school flow, rock flow, any flow you tell us to go off, and we're gonna go off. We don't have boundaries to where we could go with this music, and we're gonna show everybody like that we are as versatile as we say,
I feel like definitely when it comes to the group, in a sense, we're different than a lot of artists because like weird anime references, a lot of them. But I compare like the Cartel Haven crew to the Straw Hats, like in One Piece, because we're all different and we all provide those things that excel and make us that important integral part that keeps the going merry going, and that's the crazy thing that I love about the group, that I can bounce back and I can sit here and spit something and he can spit something harder, he could spit something faster, he could spit something more cooler. It's like all of these things build up like a sense of competition, but it's friendly. And not only that, but it's supportive and it's beneficial.
Yes,
so it definitely builds a whole atmosphere for the group. And I feel like we build an aura, something that people get in and they like get succumbed by it. It's like it's a weird kind of thing where we kind of bring you into our dimension, our way of doing things. And it's amazing,
For me, our sound, you introduced us as the new Odd Future, and I feel like it's not, I don't want to say it's nothing bad. I love Odd Future, by the way. But the thing is that we don't want to use that sort of image in a sense. We are Cartel Haven. We are the only Cartel Haven. It's no disrespect to you. Like I'm not saying that, you said something wrong. It was kind of funny to me when you did introduce us as that way. I'm like, damn, that's actually pretty cool. Someone actually like noticed that we're kind of like we're kind of cool in a sense, and just kind of hearing that just kind of like it made me feel good, and I feel like for a fact that it made everyone else feel good because it's like Odd Future is this big ass group full of many talented people, and being compared to that is it's an amazing feeling. And I feel like our sound alone, it represents its own sort of beauty, and excuse me, it represents its own kind of beauty that it's unmatched for. And I feel like nobody else can perfect it but us, like I was saying. And yeah, I feel like that's just it.
Perfect. Yeah. Nah. When it comes to like music, I always try to see it as like you're basically painting a picture in a canvas, and it's just like you got to do something special with the canvas that you have in front of you. Don't always try to like make it to the next canvas that's right next to you just because that canvas has already been made by somebody, so why would you want to make that canvas identical to that one when that one's already been made, when you can create something unique and different and special within your own work. And when I realized when it comes to like nowadays generation, and I don't want to say anything bad, but like I feel like when it comes to certain creators, not a lot of people want to really create as much different sounds anymore, you know? And I feel like a lot of them, a good majority of them, are just doing it just for the paycheck. And like I said, I don't have any hate towards anybody that are just, you know, doing it for the money, because maybe they just really need the money to provide for the people that they care about, you know? So maybe that's the reason why they're going, you know, towards that route. But at the same time, it's just like, do you even love what you're doing at a certain extent? Because if you don't love what you're doing, you're just doing it for the money. You just kind of took the other people's spot for the ones that actually care about the work, for actually caring about the craft, for actually caring about this painting, you know, that actually wants to develop something special with this canvas. Because if you're just gonna waste the canvas, and if you're just gonna keep making the same work, eventually it's gonna get tired out, and eventually you're gonna be bored with it, and eventually not only you're going to be bored with it, but the people around you are going to be bored with it, because it's the same identical thing. So being different is not a bad thing. And sometimes a lot of people underrate different artists, you know? And like I remember when I was watching the documentary of Kanye West and Netflix, Genius. I don't know if you guys got a chance to watch that.
It's
Um
amazing. It's amazing,
Great,
man.
great.
yeah, man. It's the things that he went through ever since he basically moved into the city, moved into New York City. You know, he hit obstacles after obstacles after obstacles. He wanted to record labels, you know, and show and literally perform like his hit song. Yeah. So it's just like at the like and it was different for them. They're not used to like hearing that type of sound. But he was literally introducing them to a whole new wave of sounds. And now Kanye is like the best artist, you know, of our generation, you know, and he inspired a whole group of like artists, you know, like Tyler Creator, Kid Cudi, you know, just to name a few, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like being different is okay, because that's when you know not only you got something special, not only you got something unique, you are going to create something special. You are going to create something unique with the people around you as well. Because you never know who you're inspiring, bro. Like I'm telling you, like you never know who you're inspiring. And then once you get that, like once you inspire those group of people, like there's only going to be a whole new wave of sounds coming with different type of artists. We're on to our last question number 10. And this is also another question that I like to ask every interviewer that I interview for this podcast, only just because not only there's always a different answer, but like I feel like this is a question that I feel like it always needs to be asked for yourself, like every once in a while. So if you can say one thing to your younger self, to younger, you know, y'all, like each and every one of you differently. If you want to say something, if you had a message to say to your younger self, like what would that message be?
I feel like for me, if I were to give any message to my younger self, it would basically just be to like keep on going. Like all the bullshit I went through in the past, like yeah, it was difficult, but just keep going through it. At the
Yeah,
end of the day, you're gonna be a better person at the end of it.
indeed.
Me personally, I'll just tell myself to like stay focused, get into the wrong crowd. Like I had times where like I was going through real bad things in life, and I put myself into situations and into certain groups that I didn't have to be in, and I put myself in danger a lot of times because of the situations I put myself in. And I'll just say stay focused to the main objective, get through school, influence others to go to school, that's around me. Like don't try to be somebody you're not, that's what I really told my younger self.
Mm. Perfect.
My younger self, I've came up a long way. Like I'm about to start tearing up, honestly. I'm sorry.
It's all right, man.
uh
It's all right.
I've come a long way, and I'm not gonna say that my situation was worse than anybody else's. Everyone goes through their own thing, their own type of way.
Yeah.
But I've definitely had my fair share of bullshittery. And I feel like if I were to tell my younger self, I would just tell my younger self, like, yo, I'm gonna just keep it a buck with you. Fuck it. That that's it. I'm gonna keep it as vague as possible. Just fuck it. Just keep going and just fuck it. Because at that point, like you can't have the answer to everything, you know. That's gonna be impossible. No one's gonna have the answer for you either. It's just something that you have to kind of go through your own quest in a sense. And if you don't deal with it, then you're gonna be stuck in that same level for who knows how long until you want to beat it, you know. And yeah, it's been a hard coming. It's been a hard time coming up, but I feel like I'm content of where I'm at as of right now, and I feel like that's all I would say to my younger self.
Well, what I would say to my younger self is that I wouldn't tell him anything. As weirdly enough as it sounds, as odd as it does, I have gone through my set of times where I would even like yesterday, I was sitting here and I was like, yo, like I remember some shorty from way, way, way back when. And I was like, damn, I really did that shit. So I was like, I have moments where I sit here and I contemplate, but I feel like the whole point of life is that, you know, not to be dire, but we all die someday. So, you know, you have to make the best out of it. And I guess as weird as it sounds, I wouldn't want to affect my younger self's process because they're going to go through this stuff. And if I'm being successful right now, I wouldn't have to tell him anything because he's going to go through all of it, you know? And you know, it's hardships and it's stuff that obviously you wouldn't want somebody to go through. It's something that builds character. And not only that, builds pride, you know? And I feel like even though it could be used in certain ways that is unfavorable, I feel like a big thing that everybody has to have because everybody deserves it. Everybody should feel like because they came through all of these things and all of these obstacles that they can do it. You know, you don't have to come in first to be a winner. You just have to consider yourself a winner. You know, and in the way that's what it is. I'm successful, so the little guy ain't gonna know nothing. You know, you gonna stay in the past, just doing whatever you gotta do, man.
I also want to mention one more fact, especially to the listeners and everybody who's listening. One quote that's always amazed me, and you can take this however you would like, is start quote, if what you are is what you have, and what you have is lost, then what are you? End quote. And since I've ever learned that, like the first time I ever heard it or read it, I believe, like I've been thinking about it ever since. I'm like, damn, I can't be materialistic. I can't be not in a sense objectified, but I can't let the things I have picture who I am. I have to paint that picture. Nothing else can. And that's how I've taken it. Now, like I said, anybody can take it however you like, but that quote has been with me for a very long time and has helped me through those times of need. And I just wanted to share that. Thank you. That's it.
No, thank each and every one of you guys, honestly. Thank you guys for being just fully open and honest to that question. Because when it comes to like that question alone, it's always like different type of answers that I always receive. That's why I always like to ask that question. For anybody that's going to make it this far into the video, hopefully they get inspired from everything that you guys basically said. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody has a different backstory. Everybody has a different childhood or how their life kind of grew up. Everybody has a different type of journey, you know? And sometimes that journey makes us into the person that we are today, you know? And sometimes we got to go through these obstacles. Sometimes we got to go through these barriers and walls and the bullshit, you know, in order to become the man that we are today, you know? And I like the fact that he said that he didn't want to say anything to his younger self, because I think that's also like the best way to do it, and just let him go through it, because he's going to learn. He's going to realize why, like eventually why he's going through it in the process. And then he's going to be, you know, where he is right now, you know? So sometimes it's just like at the end of the day, y'all younger selves will definitely be proud of each and every single one of y'all. I can tell you that for sure, you know? And at the end of the day, when it comes to like being able to like do this for a living and being able to accomplish each and every single one of your goals to as high full extent as you guys want to reach it for, it's only going to be up. It's only going to continue just to keep going. And I mean, it's only going to keep continuing to grow. And the only way it's going to continue to grow is if you guys like keep it going. And I don't see no quit in front of me. All I see is a bunch of winners. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just like at the end of the day, like everything that y'all want out of this life is gonna definitely happen for sure. But it's definitely gonna be at the time where it's like not like in a necessary time. You know what I'm saying? Because nowadays we live in a generation where everybody wants everything like that in a rush. You know what I'm saying? And they want to skip the journey. They want to skip the process. They don't want to go through the BS. They don't want to go through all these obstacles. They want to reach the final destination. You know what I'm saying? And then once they reach that destination, they're not even ready mentally, physically, none of that, because the process is really what it's all about. The journey is really what it's all about. So once you get to that destination, you'll be right on time. So yeah.
I want to thank you again for having Cartel Haven on your podcast. It's a pleasure, man,
Big
speaking with you right
opportunity,
now.
man.
Like,
We all gotta thank you for that.
Nah,
man.
for real.
Appreciate the time, the conversations, the jokes and all of that. It's fucking, it's a great, man. It's an experience. Thank you, man.
For real, for sure.
Nah,
It's
man.
definitely a fact.
Always, man. And thank y'all just for being yourselves, for being open and honest, like I said, and just for being you who you are and not being afraid of who you are, you know, and that means a lot to not just me, but to like the people around you, you know. So just definitely keep that going. Each and every single one of y'all definitely got, like I said, a bright like future ahead of y'all, and it's only up. It's only gonna be up, man. Definitely is only gonna be up. But before I close this out, is there anything else that you guys want to say? You guys want to mention? Like if you guys got any future songs or guys got anything on the works? If you guys want to mention anything before I close it out?
First, I do want to do a shameless promotion. Add us on Instagram, Cartel Haven, CARTLE. EL, my bad. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Wait.
Rerun.
CARTELHAVEN.
Perfect.
That's the IG.
And you could be sure to follow any of us individually if you like, you know, and it's your preference, you know. And I wanted to make y'all aware that we have Run Dropping next week.
Dropping by my man Jamal.
And the following 2 weeks
and the following 2 weeks we got Reflect dropping by Light Switch himself.
And we might just have a card. We have a surprise drop too. Who knows?
Yeah.
Stay tuned for that.
Okay.
Everybody got to stay tuned to it, you know.
Hey man. So they got like a whole list of music that's gonna be out.
We got a lot of stuff.
We got a lot of things cooking up for the summer.
Yeah, this summer we're going crazy.
Everybody needs to stay tuned for that. We're doing some.
I suggest y'all follow that Instagram page as fast as you can. You don't want to miss out on what we got going on. I'm telling you.
Listen, I'm definitely trying to, because I know me personally, me and Light Switch, we recently graduated.
Yeah.
So we got some free time, you know what I mean?
Got a lot of time to do whatever the hell we want.
Perfect. No, this is perfect. Like for anybody's gonna watch it, man, definitely show love and support to their music. I'm definitely when I do my edits and when I do all my fun when it comes to this video, I'm gonna put all their socials, media up accounts under their side of the video, so you guys can follow their account, and I will put all their music also as their platforms, like because I know it's on Spotify and Apple, so I will put that under their side of the video as well, so you guys can show support and show love, because that's what we're here to do. It's just to support one another, so we can be able to not just live out our dreams, but just being able just to do it because like if you want to do it alone, it will be easy. Like you can go fast doing alone, but you can go far together, and that's what I believe. So yeah. But other than that, man, thank y'all again. And thank y'all for just being yourselves.
The opportunity, man, the experience, all of that. Cartel Haven appreciates it.
Perfect, man. Perfect. Now I'm looking forward to the future for y'all, man. And keep up the good work and just keep going. But with that being said, This is Above the Sky season 4, episode 7. Thank you guys so much for taking the time out of y'all day. For anybody that's watching, just to get through this video with us. Like and subscribe, spread love, and I'll see you guys in the next week's episode.
Subscribe.
That's my boy Leon Sky. He's the real.